Hello there, my name is Jocelyn and I'm so pleased to bring you this 10-part knowledge building series, all for upper primary teachers. You guys have been left out in the cold when it comes to professional learning and structured literacy, and I really want to change that. We've been talking a lot about whole class instruction, about what sort of text students could and should be reading, and I want to talk in this clip about comprehension strategies. Now, we have been led up the garden path when it comes to comprehension strategies, and we have been led to believe that the strategies, which really are being treated as skills, is something that we can teach in one term and through however many texts. And then when we get a new text, the children will be able to apply what they've learned. They'll be able to apply that strategy of inference, for example, to a new text. Unfortunately, this information is incorrect. The ability to infer is heavily dependent on a child's background knowledge, on vocabulary, and those things are very often specific to that particular text. So we can't take that skill of inference and apply it to a new text. What comprehension strategies really are cognitive processes that we undertake when we engage with texts. And we will use a variety of these strategies to understand text and to work with that text, but we're not going to get there just by saying on term 1, we're going to do 10 weeks on this strategy. In term 2, we're going to do 10 weeks on finding the main idea. And on term 3, we're going to do 10 weeks on building connections. We need to apply a range of strategies for every text we read. And so while a very short amount of time on teaching what it means to infer, what it means to find a main idea can be useful, anything beyond a very small amount of time is actually a waste of time. And the research is pretty clear about that. So what does that mean for us in the classroom and comprehension? It means that we need to choose texts that are good and engaging, and that's what the previous videos have talked about. Good, rich texts that are engaging, and we need to help children use a range of cognitive processes to engage with those texts and understand them. So something like summarizing is evidence-informed. The National Reading Panel told us from the meta-analysis or the analysis of all of those research papers that something like summarizing is a really good thing to use in your classroom when children are engaging with text. Something like asking questions, having children generate questions about particular text is another research-informed thing to do with text. But we're not going to spend one term teaching kids to come up with questions and then we move on. That's not how it works. So what's the answer? Exactly what I've said. Have a think about which evidence-informed strategy will we employ while we're reading this text. And that means that you will repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat with these strategies over and over with the aim of enabling children to understand what they're reading. But we have to be really clear. The role of background knowledge and vocabulary cannot be overstated. We need to build that background knowledge and vocab for every text we want children to engage with. And I've shown in a previous clip, these background knowledge pieces are there, these texts I've written for every single text-based unit so that we can give children what they need. It will be dependent to that text. It'll be connected to that text only. That's not going to help them understand the next book, which may be The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, just because they read these background knowledge clips and texts and can think about background knowledge for the Velveteen Rabbit. And we also need to actively build vocabulary and help children use that vocabulary. It's not about dictionary definitions. It's about using language to understand what we read and express our thoughts and ideas. So that is my talk today about comprehension strategies, and that can be a really difficult thing for us to get our head around and really shift our mindset around, because for so long we've been told one thing that's actually unfortunately not accurate. So happy teaching, everyone, and if this is feeling challenging for you, just sit with the challenge, have a think about it. You don't have to do everything today. Just sit with that discomfort and there will be more information coming for you very, very soon. Thank you so much.